You're watching E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. I'm your host Rob. Terminus. Pretty much all of us knew it wasn't a good deal. It's not a good deal. And I think what you have here is a variation of the Hunters, albeit a lot of them, as opposed to the small group that was in the comics. Now, overall, I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was a nice change to the normal formula of season finales, where you normally get a major character death, or at least the episode before you'll get a major character death, whatever the case may be. This was a good change. Now, I know a lot of people are very, very touch and go about this episode because of the fact that people want answers to questions. What's up with Beth? What's up with Tyrese and Carol? What is the deal with Terminus? Now we have a better idea, but we still don't know 100%. I think two key elements as to giving away that these guys are cannibals was, number one, all the carcasses sitting in the cage when Rick, Carl, Daryl, and Michonne were running through that little obstacle course, and B, the powdered milk that was outside of the train cart when Rick was being sent in with the rest of the crew. It looks like they're trying to feed him something to fatten him up. Those, to me, are two key elements that give away that these people are cannibals. I don't even know if I want to call them the Hunters at this point. I think they took the Hunters idea, and I think they expanded on that. Now, very, very good mixture of things. The flashbacks were very interesting because, we all miss Herschel. Herschel's a great character, very, very much a father figure, and it gives a lot of... It's kind of cool because it shows us what took place during the off-season from a story standpoint. We saw how Herschel kind of nurtured Rick back in. And it gives Herschel's death, it makes it that much more brutal now because you see how hard he worked to really try and make the prison a home, along with everybody else, but from a standpoint of like a father figure, really, really working Rick back into being a good man. And I think what this episode showed was that even though Rick, and there was a very dark moment in this early episode, we'll get more into that in a second, even though Rick has moments of brutality, even though Rick has shown moments of some severe violent acts, he doesn't necessarily lose his humanity all the time. Look, let's be honest, and we're going to get into that moment right now in the beginning of the show. If I saw my kid about to be raped by anybody in front of my eyes, I would be no different than what Rick did. It would be no different. The result would be the same, probably worse. So I don't consider that, I'm sorry, I don't consider that out of the realm of reality. And I think there's some parents who would agree with me. There's some people, I could never do that to another human being, and that's all fine and well. Somebody touches my kid, yeah, I'm probably going to gut you too. You're probably going to get gutted. So in terms of biting Joe's neck and ripping his flesh off, what was his other option? And yes, he doesn't want to do that. You don't want your kid to see that, but that's the world they live in. And I think the important thing is that if Rick has to go to that extreme, it's because that's his only option. He is not out there doing it naturally. Like, he's not going out there trying to do that to people. And I think that's kind of what the early part of the show conveyed, is that when push comes to shove, this man's going to do whatever it takes to survive and to protect his family, which is the group, and protect his son. Now, I was a little surprised with Joe's death because it almost seemed like they were setting him up to be on the show for quite some time going into season 5. Obviously, we found out that wasn't the case. They really, I got to commend them for this season. They really took the show to a lot of dark places. I mean, the fact that we got the idea that Carl was going to get raped if he wasn't saved was dark. Obviously, the Grove was a very emotional, dark moment. They have really, they did not pull their punches this season. And I think from a complete whole look, I think they did a great job. I think season 4 was a really, really good job. A job well done. Now, in terms of Terminus, this was, I think, a refreshing ending to the season. Yes, it's a cliffhanger. Yes, it's dreadful. We got to wait 9 months or 10 months or whatever the case may be to see the beginning of season 5. But with that said, it wasn't your typical ending. Everybody sat here wondering who was going to die, who was going to die, who was going to die. I like the fact that they went away from that. Now I got a good feeling from the ending. I didn't get like a dreadful feeling. I got the feeling like these guys are tired of being pushed around. They just want to survive. I think, and just the way what Rick said at the end said it the best. He said they're going to find out really quickly that they're messing with the wrong people or they're messing with the wrong group. Hey, that's it. They're tired of being pushed around. They're hungry. They're tired. They are, all in all, good people. And I think that's going to open up some compelling writing opportunities, because now, do you take the group and push them a little bit to more of a darker tone where they're not as trusting as they weren't very trusting to begin with. You remember the 3 questions, but in the past, they've given people opportunity to be with them. They've given people opportunity to join them. Now, are we going to see that opportunity is not going to be there anymore, where they just kind of shun people away? Not necessarily get violent and start doing bad things, but just close themselves off. And I think that I think that opens another opportunity to make the story more compelling. Because at this point, can you blame them? Can you blame them? It's almost like they're the only people in the world that would at least give you a chance to be with them, join their group, and try and contribute to survive in a zombie apocalypse. A lot of questions going into season 5. We still have whether or not these guys are going to head to DC. Terminus, how long is this going to run for? Is it going to run for a full season? I think it is. I think Terminus, or not necessarily Terminus, but Rick and his group versus Gareth and his group, I think that's going to be a whole season worth of fighting. Gareth is, from the few little bit that we saw him, I already like him. I really do. He's got that charm. He's got kind of a wise-ass tone to him. Samurai, get to the trailer. Ringleader, get to the trailer. So overall, I think it was a really good ending. I liked it. I liked the fact that they went against the grain. I liked the fact that even though cliffhangers suck because you want to see what's going to happen next, I like the fact that we go into next season with a lot of questions unanswered, because it means that we can start season 5 on a kick-ass note. How they're going to get out of Terminus. Who's going to come to the rescue? Is Carol and Tyrese going to come and rescue them? What's the story with Beth? There's going to be a lot of good stuff to open up the series, to open up the season with next year. Furthermore, don't forget, we got the Walking Dead spin-off season 1 coming next year as well. So there's a lot of things to look forward to. I know there's some people out there who probably didn't like this episode because they want the questions answered, but look at it from a different angle. Look at how much you have to look forward to in season 5. New conflict. 1 character missing. 2 characters haven't arrived yet. A lot of good stuff. And not only that, what's going to be Rick? Is he going to be back to crazy Rick? Has he, which this is what I think, has he reached a happy medium where he's got the capability to bring himself back even in moments where he gets more brutal than he would like to? Good stuff, man. I think it's good stuff. Overall, I thought season 4 was great. What do you guys think? What did you think of this episode? And what is going to happen with Terminus? I think Terminus were pushed to be cannibals. I don't think they originally were. Remember the writing on the wall, and I'm not trying to sound cliche, when they were in the room with all the candles and the writing said, "Not us, trust only us, won't happen to us again." That to me sounds like these people were once good people. They got taken advantage of, they got robbed, and they decided at one point, close themselves off. Whoever comes in, take them for everything they have, including their clothes, whatever they have, whatever they're wearing, and including themselves. Nothing goes to waste in the zombie apocalypse. And the ironic thing is, something like this can make Rick's group turn out to be the same way. And I'm not talking about cannibalism. I'm talking about closing themselves off. Good shit. This is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching E.T.N. Don't forget to subscribe and join the Nation Facebook page.